What's going on, guys? Credit Solutionist here, fixmyficonow.com. Today, we're talking about the real reason to dispute collections. We're going to talk about some other things too, but before we get started, if you are just coming in, I need you to do me a favor. Hit the like button. If you're catching the replay, you know I go through stuff before I get started, so you can go off to like maybe minute number 5 on this video, and we'll probably jump into the whole topic here. Listen, the world is on fire, you guys. It's getting rough out there. Like, it's to the point, you know, we got food, plants that are burning down. Baby formula is at an all-time low right now. That's going to hurt you working mothers out there. So watch out. And the ones that can't produce milk, it's going to be tough out here. But the good part of that is that breast pump sales are probably going to go up. Anywho, the world is on fire, you guys. And when I give you this free game on how to leverage your life, you got to take it. All right. Because the game will not always be free. Today's live stream is about preparation. All right. So yes, the real reason we dispute collections and preparation. I'm going to bring it around. All right. I'm going to circle back like our girl Jen Psaki. I'm going to make it all make sense. Okay. But like I said, the world is out of control right now. What do you do when the world is out of control? You know, we still have ships out there with all of our supplies sitting in the middle of the ocean. You know, we still got that. But we have truckers on the road that are bringing us our food that we need. All right, there's a little bit of a balance there. But if you've gone to your local store, I'm pretty sure that you've seen there's some food is sparse. It's sparse out there. And now that I live in the South, I'm over here buying rice and beans every time I go to the store because I learned that. They don't teach us that in California, but I digress. The world is out of control. So what you do when the world is out of control and your life, for the most part, is in someone else's hand, you have to control and command control over whatever you can. And right now, one of the biggest things that you need to take control of is your debt, your financial footprint, personal economy. That is the name of the game. That's the name of what's on this channel. You can't control your husband or your wife. You can control your money. You can't control your boss and whether or not they're going to come in with an attitude today, but you can control your credit. All right. These are things you can control. OK. And if you need help with it, that's why you're on this channel. Because, again, today is free game, but it won't always be free. All right. But I understand there's a necessity for what I offer today. And I'm OK with that. All right. All right. The world's out of control. Like I said, food shortage is here. It's coming. It may not have hit your city yet, but you need to prepare. All right. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, debt collection is like the Wild West right now. I say this because every time that, you know, the government or the credit reporting agencies give you guys a break, something else happens where you get slapped down and more debt becomes your responsibility, right? Now, we all know this summer they're going to be erasing medical collections. Maybe, maybe not. OK, they're going to only be removing certain types of medical debt, right? Because what y'all need to understand is that the government will never help you 100% when it comes to erasing your debt. The main reason is because the debt industry in and of itself is a $15 billion industry. To kind of put it into contrast, there are about 3,200 collection agencies that we know of out there right now. I beg to say there are probably more. Now, if you divide that $15 billion industry evenly amongst all 3,200 of those companies, that's about $4.6 million of your hard-earned cash that they're able to pull into their pockets every single year. Do you know what that means for the federal government? That means that they're going to get more taxes. That means that that's going to be a payday for the government. So they have no interest in erasing the $15 billion debt collection industry. Right. So I don't want y'all to be fooled when you see, you know, President Biden getting up there saying, oh, I'm going to erase student loan debt. No, the hell he's not. It's going to be up to that financial company to do that. OK, and even when they do, you may still be at risk for that erased debt to show as income on your end, right? Now we know with Navient, the only reason that happened where they were able to write off so much of that debt is because they made mistakes. It's because they were being predatory to you guys and somebody finally put them on blast about it, right? All it means is that Navient pissed off the wrong person. That's all it means. Navient's not the only company out there shaking you down illegally. They're not the only ones. They're just the only ones that made somebody mad. We don't know if they made a lobbyist mad, maybe a politician, whatever. But that's the only reason that the government took a look at it, because they weren't going to have themselves attached to any company that was knowingly doing fraud and got caught. That's what happened there. Now, when it comes to the medical debt, I will tell you also, I do believe that they're writing a lot of that off because of the atmosphere for the last 2 years with the whole medical thing that we don't talk about. We know there's going to be a lot of medical debt, but a lot of that medical debt is going to be because of some of the restrictions and because of some of the, how would we say, some of the conditions that were created by our government. They're the reason that a lot of you got sick, and they're the reason that a lot of you have those high medical bills. So of course they're going to try to help you with that, right? Okay, that's what this is. The government does not step in to remove debt for you without, like, there's always some kind of agenda is what we're getting at here. So that's why I say, if you can control what you can, control it, okay? Because if you wait for the government to come save you, you're going to be waiting forever, and you're probably going to be stuck out to sea without a paddle. That's what's going to happen, okay? So this $15 billion debt industry exists. That's why we're going to talk about the real reason that we dispute collections, okay? I want you to get a piece of that $15 billion. We're going to talk about that in a minute, like I said. Now, when I run into people in the street and I give them my business card, I told y'all in one of my other live streams previously, they tend to always laugh about debt. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. You can even look on some of these YouTube channels, and some of the people that talk about debt collection and have, credit repair channels, they be sitting up there laughing too. And they make it like it's a ha-ha, jokey thing. It's not. There's nothing funny about being in debt. Just because you're comfortable because other people are in that boat with you. I'm sorry. If you know anything about lemmings, they all walk off the cliff together, and they do it because the person in front of them was walking off, or the lemming in front of them was walking off. Okay. Anyway, let me not get off on that tangent. They always laugh, and I don't even ask why they're laughing because I already know. I know it's embarrassment. Okay. There's nothing funny about looking a stranger in their face and telling them that you don't pay your bills, because it tells me so much more about who you may or may not be as a person. That's why your employers look at that stuff, because they say, hey, if this person didn't pay their bill, or this person's not paying their child support, and we can see it on a credit report, they know that you at least lost control of your situation for 30 days or more, which is risky. You are now a risk. You know how they say people are a flight risk? And you basically are a flight risk for the rest of your life. That's pretty much what you look like to them, because they can't trust you with their insider secrets. Espionage is a real thing, you guys. This is why they don't hire people in government jobs when they have issues on their credit, because you cannot be trusted, right? You had control of a situation, but you let it go. You relinquished control of your personal finances. Finances are seriously one of the most important things in this world. People say money doesn't matter. You're lying. People divorce over money. People get married over money, right? People start arguments because of money. If you have no money in this world, you're going to have a hard way to go. So you can say it's not everything, but it buys you just about everything you have in your life except your family, right? So stop it. I want y'all to stop that argument right now. Now, when I talk about power in numbers and people being comfortable being in debt because of this $15 billion debt industry, the average household has a credit card balance of more than $8,000. So those are people that aren't even in collections. Those are people that just literally have $8,000 of credit card debt flat. right? So this is a nation full of spenders. We love to spend, but we never think about the repercussions of the spending. We never think about paying back. That's one of the biggest issues with credit today is that, you swipe the card and you forget about it. And then you pay that minimum balance and continue to pay that interest pretty much for years and years and years, right? Now, something interesting that I came across is that women are 36% more likely to miss payments. Now, it's not really specified what kind of payments they miss. So my assumption is it's credit cards, any kind of loans. Women are 36% more likely to miss those payments. Now, I started thinking about that, like, damn, why is that? And I thought about it. It's like women cost a lot to maintain. We have to do hair and nails and makeup. A lot of single mothers have to take care of their kids. A lot of women do the shopping in the household, even when they are married. And realistically, just the life of a woman is very expensive, right? The life of a man can be expensive, but it's typically only when he's maintaining a woman, right? So just because you're single as a woman doesn't mean you don't take care of yourself. So with or without a man, you're still going to have an expensive life, right? We're even more expensive to employ, because we take more time off, right? We put more of a strain on the workforce because other people have to work harder when we're out because we have to do something with our kids. We're out on maternity leave. Like, we have more health issues, right? We get stressed out more, and women are more prone to go to therapy than men are. Women are more prone to call out than a man is. So we're just more expensive. So out of that $8,000, that's household credit card debt, but I can assure you that it was caused by women. All right. I'm not saying that to down women. I'm just saying, right? So men, that's the situation you can control too. You know what I'm saying? Control your woman and her spending habits. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree, if you're still here. Anyway, I also started looking into what are the bills that people worry about the most. They worry about and this is in order from like least or most important to least important. Credit cards, mortgage, taxes, electricity, auto loan, and cable. Why is cable even on that list, right? And then why is the internet provider bill not on the list? That I thought that was kind of funny. So I think that's kind of like some old information. But my other assumption is that all of those other expenses fall under the credit card debt, right? Because we probably pay our Netflix with credit. We probably pay, the AT&T wireless bill, all that stuff. We pay that with the credit card. So it all falls in there. But when you look around and look at the people and look at the way they spend, I mean, we are literally a buy now, pay later society, right? It's a BNPL. That's what we call it in the credit industry. That's just how we are, and it is what it is. Now, there's a snowball effect that happens, and that has been happening for a very long time. You're seeing it, and it's a trend in America. There's a reason that inflation is what it is right now. There's a reason that the Fed keeps raising interest rates. There's a reason for that. Because like I said, we're a buy now, pay later society. We're a society that has to have it now. And unless you in your personal life control your need to have it now, you're going to sink in this ship. Okay. You're going to sink with all the other people that are laughing about the $15 billion of debt. Nervous laughter. You're going to go down with those people. Now, the snowball effect. The snowball effect is why so many people are leaving, why so many people are leaving the big cities and moving to smaller areas. Even businesses are doing this. The snowball effect, is not Dave Ramsey. We're not talking about Dave Ramsey's debt snowball, just so you know. We're talking about the inverse of that, right? Because Dave Ramsey's snowball is paying the little bitty debts first and then working your way up to paying off the bigger debts. What I'm talking about is your debt is actually snowballing, where you start with a little bit of debt. You pay your rent 1 month with the credit card. And then the next month, you realize that you haven't even paid off the rent from the last month, and you're charging your month of rent again. So your debt is starting to snowball, right? You're going to the grocery store. You're seeing that because of inflation, bacon is now $15. So you are charging it instead of taking that money directly out of your bank account. Right? So your debt starts to snowball. You are not the only person this is happening to. This is happening to a lot of people. Okay. Even the ones that come on to the internet and act like they're balling out of control. There's a reason that some of your big city YouTubers are moving to smaller towns, There's a reason they're doing that. They're doing it because their debt is snowballing too. Okay. So in that respect, don't feel like you're alone. It's happening. There were certain areas of my life that were starting to snowball. And that's why I said, hey, if I stay in California, oh, hell to the no, I'm not going to get the things I want. So I'm going to go to a city that's way cheaper, where I could live downtown for 1/3 of what I pay to live in Hollywood in California and walk over tents, right? Because it's about quality of life as well. Okay. You all in these big cities, you're stressed. You're not happy. There's a reason that the alcohol, the food industry, there's a reason that all of those industries are so big in cities, right? Because the stress makes you want to drink. The stress makes you want to go to brunch every Sunday and have bottomless mimosas. It's not because you're living high on the hog, sis. It's because you're stressed. It's because you're stressed. That's why. Okay. So I want you guys to start being real about what is behind a lot of your lifestyle choices. Take control of the things that you can command control over in your life. It is not always going to look pretty. That's the whole point, right? Because the thing is, while you're creating your debt snowball, that's going to look pretty. You can even document it on Instagram every time you go out to eat, every time you show your new pretty nails, every time you show your hair that you just got dyed. Every time you do that, sis, we know you have debt. All right. The first thing I hear when somebody says, oh, I'm a nurse. Oh, I'm a this, I'm a that. You have great jobs. But the first thing I hear in my mind as a credit solutionist and as an owner of a credit repair company is, oh, you have a lot of debt. That's what I hear. Whenever somebody says, oh, I work in, I'm a computer science engineer, I hear, oh, you got like $100,000 of student loan debt. So you do make a lot of money, but you kind of don't, because you still have this debt that's behind you, and your net worth is not actually what you believe your net worth is, because your net worth is after all of your debts are paid. You are actually at a deficit. Okay. So again, I'm saying this because the people that have the nervous laughter that we talked about before, where they feel like, oh, I'm laughing because I think I'm the working poor. No, your doctors are the working poor as well. I remember at a business group that I was in, I know a couple of financial advisors. One of them is actually my financial advisor. And he was telling me one night, we were sitting there having a drink, and he says, hey, Victoria, it's interesting that you do credit repair. He said, because I have a lot of clients that are doctors, surgeons, and they're still paying off their medical school debt. The other thing he told me, he said that they're upside down, right? In some of their mortgages. He also said that they are struggling to pay the rent, the ones that live in those high rises. And he also said that there are doctors that he has as clients that he's advised, downsize your car. You need to not have that Mercedes. You need to not have that G-Wagon. You need to have a Prius. And he tells me that those doctors tell him it's about an image, and they can't do it. They can't do it. They will have that debt. They will rack up that debt. They will keep that debt to maintain that image, right? So I'm saying all that to say, don't look at that, right? Don't pay attention to the stuff that's big and flashy and shiny. It's meant to distract you. That's what it's meant to do. It's meant to give you an idea and project an idea of who you think that person is and the lifestyle that they have, which conversely makes you feel like you're less than. I didn't mean for this to go off into that tangent, but that's why I want you to understand why it's so important to command what you can control today. Do you think that I care that I left Hollywood to go to small town Virginia? I don't care. And I don't care what it looks like to everybody else, because the vision that I have is mine. The situation that I'm in, I control that. You don't control it. Your input, or, and for you, anybody's input that they have on your life is just that. It's just input. It's in one ear and out the other, because you know what you need to do. Everybody's journey looks different. Your command over your life doesn't look like my command over my life, right? It doesn't look the same. And that's why I do tell people also, Put down your phones, okay? Because when you're scrolling through Instagram, you're doing all this stuff. You're thinking that because your life doesn't look like, I don't know, some influencer in LA, pick a person, I don't care. But you feel like because your life doesn't look like that there's something lacking. No, the people that are showing a lot of that stuff aren't even living their life. Have you ever seen how unnatural it is to have a phone in your face when you're doing something entertaining, when you're eating and you're taking pictures of your food instead of putting the food in your mouth? All right. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. It's been like 20 minutes. Sorry, y'all. And I probably lost half of y'all. But anyway, what are we leaving with today? Women are expensive. People think that debt is funny. Debt is a $15 billion industry, whatever. And today, like I said, we're going to talk about why, the real reason behind why we remove collections or why we dispute collections. Again, it's not what you think. So, and like I said, all this stuff, it's all going to connect. Trust me. Now, we talked about the different debt snowballing. I want you, if you can, go on like Etsy or just Google. I'm sure there's some kind of budget app out there where you can really, or just write it on a piece of paper. All the bills that you can think of right now that you have, write them down. And I want you to notice how there probably is a pattern of your debt snowballing, right? Now, we're discussing this because the economy's changing, which means your life is changing. There are cities out there that are booming and there are cities out there that are busting. The point of knowing that and paying attention to it is that you have to recognize nobody's coming to save you. Not me, not your mom, not anybody, right? The last 2 years in this country have been keeping people in a perpetual state of panic and stress, right? I live in a Commonwealth state, which is one of the most free parts of the nation, bar none, right? This is one of the original states in this country. People are still walking around with half of their face covered up. Okay, that lets you know how deeply entrenched we are in this perpetual panic and stress. It's not just your health, it's your money. And now with all these food plants burning down, food insecurity is about to be a real thing. I didn't know I was supposed to buy rice and beans every time I go to the store to stock up until I moved to the South. Now I got a little taste of that when, the issues back in 2020 started and, stores in California, hey, the shelves were empty. I know Texas had their supply chain on lock. Unfortunately, California wasn't like that. So I got my first taste of that back then, but I didn't learn my lesson really. But now I stock up every time I go. I'm that person. Oh, well, that's what Southerners do. Now I'm Southern by proxy, so it's cool. But anyway, we've been in a perpetual state of panic and stress. Folks are making bad decisions daily, minute by minute, just to stay afloat. People are staying with the wrong people because they can't afford to leave, not realizing it's going to mess up your health anyway, or one of y'all is going to end up killing the other person. You got people out here shacking up with people they don't like. You got people out here sharing men, you got, the poly thing. That's the thing now, y'all, because people ain't got no money. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And about the uncertainty, your government tells you to go left and then they end up turning right. So you can't even trust them, right? They tell you, oh, it's safe to go outside today. And then tomorrow it's not. Hide under your covers, hide your kids, hide your wife. Oh, that's right. Nobody's married. So yeah, can't do that. But that's where we are right now. So again, that's why it's so important to take control of what you can in your life, right? Now, the government also is telling you that they're going to control the credit industry. How? By taking all your data and putting it into a mass database that anybody can look at. That sounds really helpful, guys. Come on. So that's what I'm saying. It's like because you're so weakened mentally now, they're able to do what they want to do. Right. But that's not going to happen. That's like years in the making. It's not going to happen anytime soon, you guys. There's way too much red tape with that. So that's okay. Now the government's also waffling and backtracking. Like I said before, your president has told you he's going to erase your student loan debt. But remember, the debt industry is a $15 billion industry. Why would he do that? That's less tax money for them. Why would they do that? Right? So you got to take care of your stuff. Either do a forbearance or a deferment. We'll do another video about that, right? Get an income-based repayment plan. Stop waiting for the government, because as you're waiting, you're racking up late fees and late charges, and you're messing yourself up. You're digging yourself into a hole. And like, again, nobody's coming to save you, right? I'd rather you have all your ducks in a row and have, make your minimum payments on some of your debt versus just letting the late payment stack up. Because don't forget, you guys, FICO 10 is here. FICO 10T is going to be implemented in the summer. Okay, FICO 10 and FICO 10T are not the same, right? But with the 10T, remember, if you are now going to sit and wait for the government to wipe away your debt, you're getting late payment after late payment after late payment stack up. Remember that snowball we talked about? It's the inverse debt snowball. That's what I'm going to start calling it. If you have had that happening and you're not paying your bills for the last 24 months, FICO 10T is going to slash your credit score. They have promised the American people that if you have any negative items or you're carrying balances over the last 24 months, they promise they are going to slash your credit score up to 50 points. I venture to say it's going to be even more. Now, this is coming directly from the FICO people. Fair Isaac, it's coming directly from them, okay? And remember, your debt is going to follow you regardless, okay? This is, again, why we don't, when we dispute your collections, it's not about removing them. It's something else, okay? It's a whole different thing, all right? I'm about to give you some insider information about what credit repair really is about. It's not about deletions all the time, okay? Now, with this, with your debt, remember that $15 billion industry. What is important to remember about that is what role you play in the $15 billion industry. A lot of you don't even know that there is an IRS file out there on you right now. Every write-off that has been done, every charge-off letter that you've ignored, that company that charged off your debt has reported it to the IRS as income that they have paid to you, which means you have to pay taxes on it. And I did a video about this last year or 2 years ago, and you guys all ignored it. And you probably didn't even make it up to this point in this live stream, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you've even seen that video, if you guys are here, right? Probably not even talking to anybody right now. So again, when they charge off, that's debt, okay? It's still debt, but it's transferred into income for you. All right. If you go to the IRS website right now, you can pull up your tax transcript. Your tax transcript is a document that, every single company that has paid you money, they report all of that income they've given you to the IRS, and it shows up on your transcript. So there's documentation that is floating out there and income that's being reported for you that you don't even know is out there because you haven't gone to the IRS website. Many people think if they didn't receive the tax document in the mail, that it doesn't exist. No, get your tail onto the IRS website and look up your tax transcript for the last 3 to 5 years. If you have charge-offs, I guarantee you're going to see there is some unreported income on your tax returns. Now, we all know the IRS is backed up by about 2 years going on 3 years now because of the situation in the country. But best believe they're going to catch up. They're hiring people to work from home. They're doing that because they want to catch up. Okay. There's going to be some real do-gooders out there that are going to be doing their job super well. And they're going to be looking for people just like you that have those tax documents out there for those charge-offs, because that is income. Okay. Now, we talked about how the IRS hire people. Now, we know there's a lot of unreported taxes out there. That's like a whole nother discussion that we could be having on a whole nother live, right? So back to controlling what you can. Part of controlling what you can and taking agency over your life is understanding why you're doing it. Just like I just told you about the IRS situation, you can take control of that. You're probably going to need to amend your taxes this year, as a matter of fact. So do that for me. Go onto the IRS website and look. And if you don't see anything, good, but if you see something, get those taxes amended ASAP, right? Now, Let's see, what else should we talk about tonight before we get into it? Because I did promise you I would circle back. Well, I guess we could jump into it. So here's the real reason that we dispute collections. All right. This is the real reason that, you're going to buy the 90-day rapid repair, letter pack. This is why you buy that pack. Yes, it will get items deleted. Okay. That is true. But that is not why you do it. Okay. You do it because when you write to a collector or a creditor and you tell them that the information they're reporting is inaccurate, sidebar, remember, everything that reports on your credit report has to be 100% accurate or it cannot report. Okay, so that's a very important rule to remember. It doesn't mean they'll delete it and it won't come back. What it means is they have to delete it or report it accurately. So if they delete it, there's a good chance that they could fix their system and put it back in and report it correctly. So that's why I say disputing collections is not only about getting a deletion, okay? Because a lot of those are vanity deletions. You guys don't even know that. A lot of times it really is a vanity thing. That's why I talked to y'all about the child support thing. I can remove child support for you, sure. But here's the thing. That's government. They're going to garnish your wages still. When you when you do your taxes, you're not getting that tax refund. They're going to snatch that. Okay. And then once the child support office sees that it's no longer reporting on your credit report, they're going to slap it back on there anyway. Right. So that's the main reason that we don't remove child support unless there is some kind of legal reason that we can see that it has to come off. It's no point. I'm not going to have you wasting your money, and shame on everybody that does that. By the way, did y'all hear about that guy, Mike, the credit game? Ooh, look him up on YouTube, y'all. He was actually in the news. That dude is going down. We're going to talk about credit repair and scams in another live, but ooh, look him up, y'all. That's some scary stuff right there. I never thought that day would come for that guy. But as far as collections go, the real reason that you want to delete your collections or that we dispute them is so we can catch the collection agency and catch the creditor in a lie. What happens when we catch them in a lie? When we have documented proof that the credit bureau has lied and the collector or the creditor has lied, that is when you get the permanent deletion. That is when you get the $1,000 settlement per infraction. That is why we do it. We do it to catch them up in a lie. Y'all know I'm an auditor. That's my job. My job is to look at what's reported, compare it to your proof, and show you the discrepancies and work with you until you get it right. Okay, that's what my job is. That's how my mind works. I look for discrepancies and how to make them right. Okay, that's it. I'm not here to penalize. That's not my job. My job is to help you see what the average eye cannot. So let me repeat that because I know that some of y'all missed that. On your credit report, it has any data, any information, any balances, any credit accounts, any addresses. They have to report 100% accurately. If you use anything in that dispute letter pack that we sell, if you send out a letter, let's say you want to do your address or you want to get rid of, a DirecTV collections. When you send it out, if you know that your current balance with them is $500, but the credit report says that it's $900, you have the proof. You got the bill right in front of you that says it's $500. When you send that letter for dispute and DirecTV says, no, it's right. Or the credit bureau says, no, it's right. If they say what they're reporting is correct and you have proof that it's not, that is why you dispute the collections, because they're going to keep telling you that. They're going to keep kicking back the letter and saying, no, it's correct. No, it's accurate. We have it right. Every time they send you back that letter, basically lying, that's your evidence. When you do your CFPB complaint, that is your evidence, right? You have evidence that there's conflicting information. You have evidence that your information is not reporting 100% accurately, right? And if you get to the point where you have to talk to a consumer attorney, which I recommend you all do by the third or fourth time that they tell you something and they tell you a lie, contact a consumer attorney. A lot of them will talk to you for free. A lot of y'all didn't even know that. They'll talk to you for free. And if your paperwork is in order, they'll take your damn case and they're going to get you that money. And God forbid you missed out on some job opportunities because of some inaccurately reporting information. You are going to have a payday, my friend. Okay? So get ready for it to rain. It's going to rain because of them infractions. $1,000 per issue, per mistake, per error. Do you know I see people that have upwards of 40, 50 items that are wrong on their credit report? If those people pushed it to the limit and went to court, please, that $15 billion debt industry would be turned around to where the debt collectors would owe you money. That's how serious this is. And that's how serious it is that you prepare and start to take control over what you can. Tune into this channel so you can learn to see things with that auditor's eye. So you can see what's right in front of you and start to match it up with and see what doesn't look right. Right? Because right now, if you don't make a lot of money, if you know you're in a situation where you can't afford credit repair, don't sit there frozen in the tracks. You need to go ahead and get the letter pack. You need to go ahead and book a consultation. Stop selling yourself short. Okay? Because I'm almost positive, even if some of them collections are accurate, as far as, yeah, you didn't pay the bill, I can guarantee you they're not reporting 100% correctly. I know that because of my experience in this industry. Call any company out there that does credit repair. They will let you know. Yes, 80% of their clients, they all could have a case. Yeah, it's that deep, y'all. So stop skipping over these videos, man. This is real stuff here, you know? Anyway, we about to be 40 minutes in a couple of minutes and I got to go. All right. It's getting kind of late here on the East Coast and I feel like I've badgered you all enough, but that is the real reason we dispute collections. It's so eventually you can have a lawsuit and have a nice payday for those infractions. Okay. The deletion itself, if it happens at the beginning, fantastic. If it doesn't, continue to pursue it. Okay. Because the creditors and the collectors bank on you not doing that. That is why this is a $15 billion industry. That is why the government continues to collect tax dollars from those companies because they make so much money off of you. And that is why no one's coming to save you. Okay? So don't be scared. The life raft is here. Okay? It's up to you if you're going to jump on it. It's all up to you. No pressure. All right? Anyway, you want to talk to me? Links in the description below. You want to get started on your credit repair? Everything's in the description below. All right. I'll see you guys on the next one. I think we're going live this week. I might be on with another content creator talking about some stuff that ain't got nothing to do with credit. It's going to be fun, y'all. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys on the next video. All right. Have a good night. Credit Solutionist out.